Hello everyone. So in this video we will simply code the algorithm and we'll see that how we can move the zero elements to the end of an array. So here you can see that I have created one class as move zeros. So this class is one main method and it calls the array demo method. So where we have created this array, which we also saw in our previous video, and we have this one method print array, which we already discussed in one of our previous videos. So if I run the main method, so here you can see it simply prints the array on the console as 8102103. So these are nothing but the elements of array which has 20 elements. So we need to move this 20 elements to the end of the array by maintaining the relative order of the non-zero elements. So let's code the method. So we'll create public void. We give the method name as move zero. And as we discussed in our previous video, that this method will take one integer array and one value n, which is nothing but the length of the array. And we also discussed the idea behind this algorithm is we take two pointers, let's say one as j, which will focus on zeroth elements, and one pointer is I, so here I will focus on non-zero elements. And as we want to iterate each and every element of this array, we'll provide this for loop where I will traverse from 0 and it will go to a value lesser than the length of the array, which is nothing but the value n. And after each iteration, we'll simply increment the value of I by 1. So in for loop, what we do is we provide a if condition, and here we'll check the value stored at ith index is not equal to 0 because I will focus on non-zero elements, and if the value at jth index is equal to 0 because j will focus on 0th elements. So if these two conditions are equal, then we'll simply perform a swap by taking a temporary variable so here we are assigning the value at ith index to this temporary variable, and then we are simply swapping the value at jth index and storing it on the ith index, and at the last step we are taking the value of the temporary variable and storing at the jth index. So this will simply swap the value of the ith and jth index, and after we perform swap, we'll provide one more if condition where we simply check that value at jth index is not equal to 0. So if the value at jth index is not equal to 0, we'll simply increment j by 1 because that is not the value that j is focusing on. J will only focus on the 0th elements. So this is the condition. So friend, this is the algorithm to move the 0th elements to the end of an array. Now let's see the demonstration of it. Now after printing the array, we'll simply call move zeros. We'll pass the array and we'll pass the value of n as array.length, and after moving the zeros to the end of the array, we'll simply print the array again. And if I run the main method again, so friends, here you can see that initially array was 8102103 which had 2 0 elements, and after we perform this algorithm where we are moving the zeros to the end of the array, the value stored was like this 81213, where both the zeros came to the end of the array and even the relative order of the non-zero elements remain the same with 8 1 2 1 3, 8 1 2 1 and 3. So here we simply coded an algorithm where we moved the zeros to the end of the array. So friends, this was all about this video. In case you have liked this video, then please like, comment, share and subscribe my channel. Thanks, have a nice day.